What up? It's your girl Shay. If you're just discovering my channel, my goal is to put some mass on that ass, and I'm sharing my tips and tricks for what is working and what has worked for me. So if you're trying to get thick and you want those thick thighs and a booty that jiggles, I'm telling you, my channel is where you want to be. Okay, so hit that subscribe button and like this video to support your girl. One thing that has really worked for me is incorporating hip thrust into every single leg day. I work my legs twice a week. Hip thrust is always my main leg day lift, and I would really encourage you to try it. I know the barbell hip thrust is really intimidating and it takes a long time to get ready and like to take apart, but there's many different variations to the hip thrust. I'll be doing a video on hip thrust variations, which will be great for beginners soon, so keep an eye out for that. Another thing that has helped me a lot is activating my glutes before, during, and after my lifts. If you're not activating your glutes, then you need to start. So I will use my resistance band and I pick a few glute activating exercises. I do them just until I feel a burn. These are not meant to be an actual workout, it's just to pump some blood to the muscles. So I will link my video on glute activation above. If you're looking for some ideas or you don't know what to do, that's the video for you. I'll also do some bodyweight hip thrusts just to practice the movement of moving only from the sternum down and using just my glutes to bring the weight up and not having my back help me. You also want to make sure that you're looking forward and not upwards to keep your spine neutral and avoid injury. I do my hip thrust with the resistance band around my knees so that it works my entire glutes muscle. Hip thrust alone typically works your gluteus maximus, which is the larger glute muscle, but as soon as you add a band around your knees, girl, I'm telling you, it causes you to consciously push against the band and it works your gluteus medius and minimus, also known as your hip abduction muscles. I'll just let you know that as soon as you add the band, the burn you're going to feel is unreal. I can barely get through 10 reps, but it just feels so satisfying. So right after I do my 10 reps and my glutes are on fire, I now start activating my glutes again by doing hip abductions. This burns so damn much, I can't even believe it. But if you're trying to round out that booty, this is what you gotta do. Okay, so activating your glutes, also make sure that other muscles don't take over like your quads. I'm pretty quad dominant, and once I had started using bands, I felt such a huge change. Every booty exercise I do, I felt it in my glutes, and my quads barely take over now. It also helps you develop the mind to muscle connection with your glutes, so I'd really encourage you to try to get some resistance bands. I actually got these at the dollar store because I'm a cheap ass, but you can go online, you can order some. They have them on AliExpress, Amazon, Walmart, all those places, so try to get one. I always do a few warm-up hip thrust sets just before working up to a heavier weight, just to make sure my form is okay and to avoid injury. Never just go into a heavy set, that is definitely how you get hurt. Something I've recently incorporated into my routine is these assisted glute pushdowns. I'm using the assisted pull-up machine, so you're just going to climb up, place your feet in the middle of the pad for balance. I use lightweight for this so I can really build that mind to muscle connection, so I can really feel this movement in my glutes and hamstrings. I really want to feel them stretch. A tip I'll give for this is pushing down with your heels to activate your glutes instead of your toes, which will activate your quads. It's very easy for your quads to take over, especially when you're using a heavier weight. With this movement, you're going to do it slow and controlled. You're going to control the negative. Don't let the pad just jolt back up. You should feel this up the entire length of your hamstrings. If your quads start to burn, it means you're not engaging your glutes. So try lowering the weight, jumping off, and doing a few quick glute activating exercises. Sometimes leaning forward really helps, leaning backwards, try some different variations. I'm tall, so I can get enough resistance from using the higher platform. If you use the lower platform, it'll be a lot more resistance and it may cause your quads to take over more, but you can try out both, see what works for you. I'm going to show you a variation to target the gluteus medius and minimus, also known as your side glutes. This is just like a curtsy lunge. You're going to get into a curtsy position, you bring your right leg onto the left platform, and using your left leg, the leg that you're targeting, push down on the platform. This might seem a little awkward at first, but once you get into that sweet spot and you can feel it right in your side booty where your hips are, it's perfect. Make sure for both of these exercises, you're going to go through the full range of motion. Let the pad come almost all the way up and push down with your heel, squeezing your glutes as you do. The next exercise is one of my staples. I really feel the contact in my side glutes, so if you're trying to get some wide hips, this is the exercise you should focus on. You're going to raise up until you're in a semi-squat position and hover over the seat. I use a band when I do these to add a little extra resistance and a bit more of a challenge. You're gonna lean forward to target your glutes more. These really burn. So in between my hip abductions, I do sets of calf raises. I noticed my glutes and hips are growing, but my calves look like a baby cow, so we needed to fix that. I like supersetting these because it kind of distracts you from the burning in your hips, so I would really encourage you to superset this exercise with something that you like. I do normal hip abductions, but where I lean forward in the seat until I feel that sweet spot, where I feel it in my hip abductors. I do heavy weight with these and do them until I can't stand the burn anymore. So this is usually about 10 to 12 reps. If you don't wear the band, the burn isn't as bad, so you can do a lot more, so really push yourself. So in my gym, they have these kickback machines, so I thought I'd include this one. So ladies, this is going to target the under booty and give you the nice plump and juicy cheeks. So for the longest time, I was only feeling these in my quads, and then I realized, duh, Shay, you teach this to people all the time. Come on now. Like, I was pushing off with my toes. It's just the way the machine is made. It doesn't really give you the room to push off with your heels. So you'll notice that I push off a little to the side at an angle. So this targets more of my hips and side booty. So I do these until I feel a good burn, and then I position my body forward and do a donkey kick motion. This will target the area all around the booty and will round out your glutes, I'm telling you, girl. So now I'm going to show you a variation I do on using the laying hamstring curl machine. So there's two types of hamstring machines at my gym. So there's the one where you lay down flat on your stomach and curl your legs upwards, or there's the one where you're sitting and you curl your legs downwards. Now what my gym doesn't have is a standing leg curl, so I made my own. So you kind of have to experiment with this movement. The trick is to balance the pad on your calf muscles to target more of the upper hamstrings. And if you want to target your calves as well, balance it more on your ankle area. This really hits my hamstrings and I get such a good burn, better than when I'm laying down. Like, I am actually sore from every single time I do this. The next exercise I'm going to show you is a variation on the leg press. It's like performing a single leg press, but more at an angle. So I shift myself over in my seat a little bit and I put my foot a little bit higher up, and I either keep my body upright or I lean towards the side. I play around with it until I feel it in my IT band and my side glutes. So I do these banded so I have added tension, and it unconsciously works both legs. I do these with light weight and I do them until it burns. The other way of doing this is to lean on the side and physically turn your body, then push off the pad like that. So I really like doing these to burn out my hips. I usually do these after my regular leg extensions just to like really burn out my glutes and make sure everything is on fire. I really hope you enjoyed this workout. If you're trying to grow your glutes and gain overall strength, or you're just looking for some motivation, hit that subscribe button, like this video to support your girl, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.